record. I was trying to record the video from my phone, from a sound bite on my phone. It really was not a good idea to include the sound bite. So now I have to use a second device to load the sound clip so you can hear uh, what I recorded. So it's two videos. I may not play both on the same live. I may do two. So I'm gonna start the first one. Okay. My topic of discussion was why are we allowing treasonous individuals to destroy our country? The title of it was something I'd have to look on my regular screen, but it was about destroying Mystery Babylon. So I'm gonna play that for you right now. Give me 1 second. It's so funny, my technology. Okay, and then I think I have it downloaded twice. Let me see some. How do I get it to play? There we go. Okay, so I'm doing a little speech about what our nation, the United States of America, stands for. We have people on United States soil who are enemies of our nation. So today I had to go look up the Girl Scout Promise because I was trying to think of the exact words. I missed a couple from when I was younger. In Scout Promise and the Statue of Liberty, they're both basically saying the same thing. Our goal is to help people in this country. This country was supposed to be a good Samaritan. Some people's goal, instead of being a good Samaritan, is to be a devil. The Bible says that the wicked do not sleep unless they cause a person to fall. We have people on our soil in America who have worked with the NSA, and they're operating as terrorists to harm the souls of the blessed, to harm the souls of the pure of heart. There are good mothers. I'm an example of a mother whose children have been taken away because of wickedness. So based off of what I heard, hearsay in the neighborhood or whatever else down the grapevine, is that my neighbor across the street sees my son running out the door all the time in his diaper. My son was 3. He was the naughtiest of all my children. It turns out, this is so weird, but my husband fertile did in vitro conception to a certain degree. He poured his father's sperm into my vagina while we were having sex. This little boy. This little boy is. So anyway, why would a husband do that to his wife? Number one, the son gave me lots of trouble. And guess what I did to the son? I had to love the son in the midst of the fact that he was actually being possessed by my husband's girlfriend, spiritual wife. And so he was able to see spiritual weird stuff. I don't see spiritual stuff, so I didn't see what he was saying, but I know something was bothering him. When he would go outside, he was saying something. He even went outside one day. I said, "Don't go outside and go away from me. Stay right by me," because I knew he was kind of in danger. He was in danger in the store. One time we were in the store and a witch came and touched the toy he was touching, and something bad was on it. That's a whole story in and of itself. The whole point is, um, my son was giving me trouble. He had a grown man in his spirit because that little a bar stool, stand up on the bar stool, go to the door. He would have to lift the latch off the top of the door. He used to sneak out the house at any time he got a chance to. So he'd be running down the street in his diaper. It's really a pull up. He was 3. He was 2 sometime, and he was 3 later. And he would run down the street trying to go socialize with the boys down the street. He was sleeping 1 second. I'm making up the bed, and he's already out the door. So we knew he was going out the door, so we had to put a latch all the way at the top of the door. That's why he got the bar stool, climbed up on the bar stool, opened the door, found the key to the lock because it was a deadbolt lock. That little, it's not that he was smart. I'm promising you, he had a grown man in his spirit, and he gave me trouble like what? And guess what I did? I loved him regardless, even though he gave me trouble. And I didn't want to spank him, even though it sounds weird. My daughter, who's 23 right now, she got mad with me because I used to spank her with a belt. The belt I was spanking her with was a pink plastic belt. I said, okay, well, if this pink plastic belt hurts too much, I spank too much. So I said, okay, I'm going to use a cloth belt. The cloth. I don't believe in using switches. I don't want to hurt my kids. So I used the cloth belt. Then I was like, darn, I feel bad. I don't want to spank my kids. Let me just use my hand. So that's my 23-year-old. By the time I got to that 3-year-old, so that was in about 2019 when this was happening. So by that time, I was like, man, I really don't want to spank my kids. I don't want anybody to say I'm abusing my kids at all. So even though my son gave me trouble, when he gave me trouble, I would be like, look, little boy, you better stop it. And I'll just tell him off. Say, you better get yourself in check, pretty much. So when a defects agent came to my child's school to try to check to see if everything was okay, there was a case against the husband. The husband was maybe perhaps molesting my child. One day she was in tears before he when he was leaving for work or wherever, and I was like, Nisha, what's the problem? And then she was crying. She said, "This is the last time I'm gonna see my daddy." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then so she's trying to tell me what's going on. So in between tears, so in between that, she's trying to talk to me. And then I looked down and I happened to see that my child had she had on a jumpsuit, a blue jean jumpsuit. And it was purchased by Goodwill or something like that. I don't get into Goodwill, but like our so-called grandfather, her grandfather, used to always bring stuff. And I don't like Goodwill, but that one came from Goodwill. So for some reason, I let her wear it. Now it had a rip at the underwear line, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? Because I know if I would have washed clothes, I would have seen if something was ripped, especially if it's ripped at a girl's panty line, her vagina. So I had to ask the child. I said, well, did somebody do something wrong to you to hurt your vagina? And so she told me something like he was putting his foot in her bottom. I don't know what she was saying, but I think she was trying to say that he was raping her. Because based off of what I see, that tear that I saw showed that somebody was trying to get at her vagina or something. And so I'm always pregnant. Right now, I'm not pregnant, thankfully, but a lot of times I think I'm pregnant. And then I don't get to keep the pregnancy. So this used to happen to me since I was younger. That I would be pregnant off and on and I would lose the baby. And the doctor or the pregnancy test won't show that it's there. I was pregnant at that time. And when you're pregnant, you're thirsty. Your skin is cracking on your nails. You can't think clear. You're a little bit heavier. So I was pregnant at that time. I had 6 children total because I think I had already birthed the last child who was born full term. So anyway, I did call 911, but because I have any friends at all. The reason I have any friends at all is because I am a victim of secret society abuse. Um, since I was a child, there's so much in my life I cannot tell you about, especially when I was younger. But all I could say is that I had pretty much enemies in my life. The only two probably adults I was speaking to was my so-called father and my so-called husband. Both of them are in league together behind my back. The father is telling the husband, this is the second husband he told me to marry, telling him to cheat on me, disrespect me, don't sign divorce papers when I give it to him, take away my children, put me out of the house. So there was pure disrespect. Those were the only adults I was pretty much dealing with. That's a shame that I was in such a position. Like I don't trust the women in my life. The women, the mother and the sister, they were not good people. They were agents of the secret society. They were always watching me. It turns out a monitoring spirit who she's now my supervisor, but she's a monitoring spirit of the secret society. She was my babysitter when I was a child. She is the one who had them monitoring me. She thinks she's my mother. I don't believe she's my mother at all. I think she's a whore. She is known to sleep with every man she can get her hands on. If she's a supervisor at work and she forces men to sleep with her on the job, that's wrong. There's a lot of wrong things that go on at my place of work, sexually. I don't get involved with that. I don't have sex with anybody at work. If I ever get into supervisor position, I'm not utilizing that to abuse anybody sexually. That's not my goal, not my job. And in fact, the workplace, this is a long story. Like, I thought I was talking about the liberty of this nation and what it meant. But anyway, so I could talk about so many things. So if this ever gets released to the public and people want to ask me questions, ask me whatever I was just talking about because I'm changing the subject. I was starting to talk about the liberty of this country, this nation. What does it mean? So let me go to what I was looking up. I had to look up the Girl Scout oath. and then I had to remember every word of it because I was skipping a word. Um, Here we go. So, the Girl Scout promises, on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. That's the Girl Scout law. So I don't have to look that one up again because I remember what I forgot. Now let me tell you what the Statue of Liberty says. Forgive me, I have a bad memory, so hopefully my video comes back on. Let me check. There we go. Look up stuff, that's just the way it is. I'd rather look it up instead of misquote it. Hold on a second. I'm wasting time, forgive me. I don't think that's the same article that I just pulled up. But the Statue of Liberty was saying, give me your, so it's trying to say, give me your poor. Give me the homeless. But we can't handle that now. I was reading it, but I can't read it out loud and quote it because we as a nation at this point in time, we don't need to handle that burden on our society right now. But the point was our nation stands as a good Samaritan. Um, when I'm speaking about these NSA traitors of the nation, these are treasonous individuals of the United States of America. Instead of us being a nation, now see our money says, hold on, our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everything that our nation stands for has to do with goodness. When I pray for those who are pure of heart. So what I'm trying to say is, me as an individual, me as a mother, if you knew how much I love my children, I have 6 children. I've been married twice. If you knew how much I love my children, how much I try to make sure the youngest children, I was a better cook with the second husband. My youngest kids had dinner on the table every single day. I didn't. I bought maybe frozen food for lunch or whatever, but before the dinner was finished, from one night I would cook dinner another night. Those kids had food. I try. Time is my weakness. I try to make sure to get my child to school on time, but that's like my weakness. They could say, Lori forgot to pick up the child because I maybe fell asleep because I ate a bag of cherries, so I was pregnant and I was knocked out. And whoops, that doesn't happen often, but it has happened to me before. The point is that I'm a loving mother. Nobody can say that I'm not a loving mother at all. But for society in America to take away the children from those who love them ever so dearly and put them in the hands of the child molester, my second husband, so the was like, I'm coming to check on that case, trying to help you to remedy that case, and if you need help, person, I'm here to help you. So she acted like she was trying to help me. She came, she said, I want to come to your house to do a home visit. If you ever are into conspiracy theories, you would know that the rule is with CPS, never allow CPS in your home. Well, I wasn't a researcher of CPS. I just know people are evil. Secret societies are evil and they hurt good people. You could be the best person, best mother in the world, and they will lie on you and mistreat you and steal your kids. I'm well aware of that. And so since I was younger, I used to not like doctors. I did bring my children to the pediatrician initially. I kind of got mad. I brought my child to the pediatrician one time, and I wasn't sure if her father was molesting her. So when the pediatrician stuck her head up my child's vagina, I was kind of mad. So I'm like, well, it's one thing if he's messing with her, but I'm not letting you stick your hand up her vagina either. You know, I want my child to be a virgin when she gets married. I don't want you to violate her like that. So sometimes I'm kind of mad with the medical authorities because my philosophy on medical well-being of Americans is that we need to help ourselves holistically instead of relying on medications. So I'm really I used to be a Christian girl. Right now, it's all kind of all these wicked individuals that I come across. They come. God said if they hated me, what makes you think they're not going? So I have all the hell fighting against me. So if my mouth does let out curse words when I need to, forgive me. But the book of Enoch, it talks about the names of the wicked are execration. If you look up what execration means, it means that curse word. So my philosophy on that is very interesting. So forgive me if you don't like it when I curse, but so anyway, the whole point is, how can we help America be free of these treasonous secret society? I do not believe that a psychopath in and of him or herself is going to destroy this country. It's not going to happen. It's called Mystery Babylon, mother of harlots. That is what's destroying the United States of America. So I was watching a video on YouTube. It's talking about this Mystery Babylon, mother of harlots, riding in her power. Not everybody in this nation is wicked. There's so many of us who are pure of heart. We used to be a Christian nation. Right now, we are not really necessarily a Christian nation. There's some of us who are heathen. There's some of us who are pagan. There's some of us who are occultists. There's some of us who are Satanists. Outside of that, there are still some good people here. There's some Muslims here in spirit and in truth. There's some Christians here in spirit and in truth. There's some Jews, Hebrew Israelites, Hindus, Buddhists. There are good people here. But why are the good people of America being trodden down underfoot by these wicked jerks? That's a question I need to find the answer to. Today is January the 30th, 2025. My question to you is, why is America hurting so badly? I'm not a New Testament believer, but Revelation 21 says that our Elohim is going to wipe the tears from our eyes one day. What day is that day? Because again, there's my three youngest children. I can't tell you their I can tell you their birthdays. I can't tell you their ages because I'm like a man. I pay child support for the oldest three. I have a false divorce with the second. Like, it's so many mental things in my life. And I've worked too hard. I've had too boring of a life trying to be a half-decent person for my life to be so screwed up and my children to be carrying the iniquity that they do not deserve. And the wicked... Excuse me. Let me get it back on. My phone has jokes. Sorry. Sit there and they laugh because they have plotted out every single aspect of their hell that they're delivering to pure of heart persons. And my question to you is, how long are we going to allow it to stand? Because I'm not feeling what they're doing at all. I feel like if we see it, we call it out and we need to go resolve it. We'd have to look in the defects records and see how many children have been stolen from good, upright parents who loved them dearly. So the defects woman, she said one day to me, she said, hey, we're going to have a meeting in the office. So, but she called me on the phone and she said something weird. She said something like, I'm going to take your kids from you or something weird. She said, so I brought the phone to my husband and I said, the defects woman said something weird to me. She said, blah, 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 blah. And I gave him the phone to talk to the woman. Little did I know that that was his spiritual wife. Before a secret society individual does something to you, they're required to tell. They are required to tell you that whatever garbage they're going to try to do to you. So she told me one time. So I don't know what the husband heard. He just made sure. He was like, "We're running late. We're going to come in. I guess at 2." And then we got on our clothes and went. Now, if we would have been smart and not gone, my kids will still be at the house. Do you know what was at my house? My house had some beans, it had some rice, it had some hemp seed. I am a person who believes to be ready for the rapture. I don't believe in the rapture, but be ready for tribulation. Don't sit on your butt, learn how to be so. Who's calling me? They're gonna have to wait. So I believe in being, I have to put up do not disturb. I believe in being self-sustaining so that we do not get caught in tribulation unprepared, right? I've been reading the book of Revelation since I was about 16 years old. One time much, but so somebody keeps calling me to distract me from my thoughts. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not answering. But so anyway, the whole point is it's gonna make me get distracted. So the point is This is still the United States of America. I don't care how much change, and I want to use that bad word, excuse me, how much change comes into our nation. Our nation was a half decent nation. We had, look, listen to me make a joke. We had some lukewarm Christians on our nation's shores, right? And those lukewarm Christians are not perfect by far. But guess what? I'd rather a lukewarm Christian than a occultist or Satanist on any day. So this again is United States of America right now, January 30th, 2025. And so to our nation in 2008 when we elected Obama. Now, y'all, I'm gonna talk. Um, I felt like there was witchcraft on the electoral ballot, not really on the ballot itself. I was staying at somebody's house. I don't know if that was 2008. That was 2016, excuse me. The second election, 2012. At 2012, I was divorced from one husband and I was being pushed into another marriage with someone else. And I didn't really want to get married again. So it was 2012, so I said the wrong year. Re-election of President Obama. And I believe there was witchcraft on in the house. So I was sitting on the sofa one day. I wasn't going to go to vote because sometimes when I don't know the right thing to do, I'll pray about it. If I don't know the right answer, I just leave it alone. So I was not going to vote at all because I didn't want to vote for anybody who was evil. I didn't, I used to watch those movies about like where you see the Antichrist and like, so you shake his hand and all of a sudden you become evil because the energy from his hand goes into the other person. Then you see the person's true self. I used to watch movies like that, so I'm very careful of who I trust. The point is, I did not want to vote for the 12 election. I was at somebody's house. There was a piece of paper on the sofa. For some reason, I was going to clean off the sofa. There's one piece of paper on the sofa. I touched the one piece of paper. Mind you, now, I don't change my mind when I make up my mind. I touched the one piece of paper. Guess what? I took my butt up and did. I got up and I went and voted. I truly believe there was witchcraft on that paper. I believe there was a lot of witchcraft that was affecting us, whether we saw it or not. If you read the book of Daniel, it explains how I'd have to turn to it so I don't misquote it. It's like Daniel 6, chapter 6 or something, 6 or 7. And it's explaining how this man is going to come in and deceive us, and he's going to teach us witchcraft. And so anyway, I've seen that with my own eyes in America. I've seen America change from a Christian nation. We have been tempted. Guess what? I will never give my power to a man, ever, ever, ever. Because I feel like men are weak. In the beginning, when Eve sinned, and she ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, woman sinned. I believe Eve slept with the serpent, or Satan. Now is a different time. How many times has man fallen? How many times has man been tested? This time, this go around, 2012, 2008, man has fallen. The reason man has fallen is because it's very easy for a man to be tempted by sex, money, and power. Women fall too because women are sexually depraved too. We do silly things that we should not do. But, so anyway, when I date a man, I'm going to tell him straightforwardly, I love you with my whole heart, but don't ever think that you're going to lead my people. Excuse me for what I just said. Don't ever think you're going to lead my people with whatever mess is coming out of your head, because it's not going to happen. Y'all just let. I'm just making fun. So anyway, the point is, men can easily be tempted by sex. They can be tempted by power. The secret societies, the way they work is that they utilize witches. So if I was a child of God and I'm endued with power from the Holy Ghost and from heaven, if the scepter was in my hand, there would be a group of witches watching me at all times. And every single time I try to take up a man, they're going to sleep with that man before I even get intimate with him. They're going to break up our relationship before it even gets sturdy and stable. The secret society works. They're very, very evil. They're cunning, conniving, manipulative. So anyway, the point is there are various ways in which pure-hearted persons in this nation are being hurt. But my question again is, when is Elohim going to wipe the tears from our eyes? How do we prosecute those who are treasonous against our nation? Some of us are treasonous in various ways. Some of us are making deals with other nations behind the scenes, trying to help such and such president of such and such a nation to get whatever. Um, so, say for instance, there's a socialism agenda. President such and such over in such a nation across on the earth, on the other side of the earth, wants our people to be as poor as his people. So he decides to get control of our president, get control of our women, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of weird stuff going on that we're not seeing. I see you. I'm going to stop it. We as in order for us to defend ourselves, we have to start, putting a process in effect to stop the bad things that are going on that we see. So, this is just a video clip or a sound recording to state there are many problems on United States soil. We need to start clamping down on it. Make a list of the things that are problematic. Restore back order in the houses. Send back the good children back into the good houses. Because guess where they send those kids? My children. I would not have 6 children if I wanted them to be out in the street being whores, being sodomized. When I was younger, I would have adopted children. There's no way on earth that my children need adopting because they're in trouble. Something is wrong with this nation. My children would have had all the love that they could ever have on this planet. I'm a Cancerian. My birthday is in June, late June. Um, so anyway, I've been talking a lot. I don't know if I made my point. The whole point is that there are wicked, wicked secret society individuals in this nation. They're in the houses around us. They've been, we could see it. We could hate the person with our whole hearts. And as long as we don't do anything to get them off the streets, they're still going to keep hurting us. The devil's imps right amongst us. We cannot keep allowing them to destroy our nation or our people. So your eyes and ask the Creator for direction. How do we stop Mystery Babylon from destroying America? That may be all I need to say. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, guys. I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna add the next video to this one or if I'm gonna do another video like part 2. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to tell you what was on my part 2. On my part 2, what I was trying to do was decipher who is the Antichrist, who is the beast. I used my Old Testament. I'm not a New Testament believer, so I didn't find the false prophet in there, but I was trying to find the specifics because when judgment time comes, the Antichrist, the false prophet, the beast, they all get judged together. Not only that, but all the people who decided to help them all get judged together. So the issue that we have there, like I said, we got to find the word. In the word, we find the answers to that which we seek, right? And so I was reading out Daniel. It was Daniel chapter 7 and chapter 8. I was finding like lots of gems in there. When I was younger, I used to study the word a lot. So I can see if I could pull it up right now on the same video. Let me see if I can do that. I may do that and I may just start a new video. Let me look. So yeah, I see the video, I just can't get it to play. I don't know why. So what I'm gonna do probably is I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna start a new video to continue what the discussion was. Again, the whole discussion is let's make, as Trump would say, let's make America great again. Let's make America whole again. Let's give us our liberty and our justice once more. Let's protect free speech. Let's protect our valuables because we have covetous individuals that we need to get off of the street. As long as covetous individuals are on the streets, we will have no peace of mind because the astral realm is being utilized to bully physical men and women, and it is not good for our mental health because nobody needs to be bullied in the astral realm because a lot of us don't even see in the astral realm. So it's a lot of headache and stress.
Some people are on medication. We really don't need medication. When you know that you're being bombarded by spiritual demonic chaoses, you either got to pray and loose those spirits, like whatever is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. We got to let those spirits leave our earth. Open the window, let those spirits out, and say, you are loosed from here right now. So, like I said, it's time to learn how to pray because, like I said, we got to get serious when we want to make our country great again so our children can be safe once more. And I would love for love to be present still so that we no longer have witches chasing off our men or sleeping with our men, breaking up our families. So, anyway, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to learning. I will keep studying after work. Whatever I've learned. Also, I did do a video about the subject, like I did a sound clip on how to find a good husband and make that relationship stand the test of time. So I was reading scripture on that too. I'll upload whatever I can get uploaded. Okay. All right. Take care.